Hey, Whippersnaps, this is Tortimer the Great. Welcome you back to another exciting episode of Little Cup Federation Battles. We are in Week 8, and this week the Tohjo Torterras are going up against the Manchester Mareeps. And Fitzblitz, their coach, is a very good battler, and we actually have a pretty decent matchup once again against this team this week. We didn't make very good use of it last week, but I'm hoping to do a little bit better this week. You can see there the team I'm planning to bring. We've got Silver and Fumesy and Lol and Mumbo, Casper and Hal, and I think through that it's going to fit better with my battling style, which we didn't really give a lot of thought to in previous weeks. We were kind of just trying to be a battler and forgetting that I'm not very good at competitive battling. So might as well do what has worked for us over the last couple of years and try one of my own strategies. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. Going into the battles against the Manchester Mareeps, I'm expecting to see some Pokemon here. Obviously, we would expect to see some Pokemon. What I'm kind of anticipating seeing here today, here's their full draft. I've got Diglett, Krogunk, Bulbasaur, Munchlax, Froakie, Zora, Axew, Helioptile, Spinarak, Solosis, Wingull, and Litleo. And taking a look at their battling, their former battles from the previous rounds and everything like that, I'm pretty much expecting to see Diglett, Krogunk, Axew, Helioptile, Wingull, and Litleo in today's battle. So that's kind of what I planned for, but realistically, there's not a whole lot on this team that I'm super afraid of. There's nothing here that Fumesy can't stop or that Bigwig and Lol can't take care of. We've got Casper to help with the special side, things like that. So I think I'm pretty comfortable with what we're going to see. So let's go ahead and jump into the battle, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty, guys, here we go up against Fitzblitz and his Manchester Mareeps. We lead off with Mumbo, and I was going to set up the rocks, but then I remembered Mac from the comments saying he was yelling at his screen, just throw up Rock Blast. And so I was like, you know what, let's just go for it. We can potentially get rid of this thing. So, did that, ended up taking out the Zora, and the Wingull is still on the field, but Roar comes in, and the Axew starts setting up, but Fumesy is already out and already prepared for that. He gets the Will-O-Wisp up, and then he's going to throw out the Clear Smog here, which is going to do decent damage considering Fumesy's stats and the weakness of that move. Fumesy's going to force out the Axew, bring in the Solosis. Solosis is going to force out Fumesy, bringing in Hal. The Solosis starts setting up some Calm Minds and stuff here. Hal is going to throw up the Heavy Slam, which does decent damage to it. Again, considering Hal's stats, he's not a real attacker usually. Unfortunately, the Shadow Ball is going to come up from the boosted Solar. I realize, though, that I can pretty much outspeed this thing with anything on my team, and I figure I can one-shot it. So I bring out Mumbo to go ahead and do that. The knockoff doing good damage to the Axew, who switches in. Going to be able to finish off the Axew with the help of that burn damage there. Pico then going to switch in, and unfortunately Mumbo is not faster than Pico and can't take a Scald because Mumbo is going to go down in the face of Pico. At which point, though, then Silver is going to switch in, and Silver is going to throw up the Return. I figure there's no one on his team who's really going to shrug one of those off, so throws with the Return, going to go ahead and outspeed the Diglett and the Frogger with the Choice Scarf here. So Pico then switches in, and with the Choice Scarf, going to be able to outspeed that as well. And Pico's going to go down, leaving it just up to the Solosis, and Solosis also going to take a Return. A couple of crits in there with the Returns, but honestly, I don't think it mattered. None of those Pokemon had enough bulk to stand up to Silver, so even without the crits, I think we would have had that sweep there without any trouble at all. So finally, a decent showing in this stupid league. It's going to get us some points, and that's pretty good. We're still, I think, in last place potentially, not counting the Leicester City Tyrants who have lost and/or forfeited every battle that they've done. A forfeit gets you like a 6-0 loss, I think, or something like that. Anyway, but thank you guys so much for watching. We finally had a decent showing. Next week, probably not going to be as good. We're our last week of this tournament because there's no chance of us making the playoffs at this point, but our last week of the tournament is going to be up against the Viridian Venipedes and their coach, Jocks, and they have a pretty scary team, so we're probably not going to have as good a showing here, but they have Mindfu, Fungus, Corphish, Elekid, Pawniard, Doduo, Vulpix, Sandshrew, Slowpoke, Cranidos, Phantump, and Kabuto. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty tough week, but we could potentially pull something out. I mean, we've managed to, even with our lower tier Pokemon that we generally use in Little Cup, we've managed to take out Mindfooz and Fungus and Pawniard and some of these other scary Pokemon. Generally, we have some different tools at our disposal. I.e. Boots. Boots can finish off Mindfooz no trouble at all. But we don't have Boots in this league, so we'll have to figure out some other strategy. But thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I will see you all back here next time. Alrighty, guys. Have a good one.